Still Pinder. Oh, ball is loose. The Giants have it. Scott Eaton's on the football.
That's a pretty good hitting going on there, I'll tell you.
Jimmy Files knocked it loose, and Scott Eaton covered it.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. Welcome to the Gridiron. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone out there who's been watching my videos. Thank you. If you could maybe give this video a thumbs up or possibly leave a comment below, maybe even share this video, it would mean so much to me. But at least anyway, just thank you so much for just taking time out of your day to check out this video. Thank you. Well, man, I love karma just bites you right on the ass. I love it, absolutely love it. Big mouth Eli Apple, a couple weeks ago, bad mouth, the Giants. Apparently he's been like leaving, some little, I don't know, tidbits all along kind of the way. I mean, at the end of the season, he kind of made fun of the city of New Orleans and their cuisine, about their fan base. He was also picking on the Giants fan base as well too. And then, he was just making like remarks about different people and stuff like that and all and everything. Just what an absolute worthless piece of human trash. And it all just comes back to bite him on the ass. Absolutely love it. Couldn't happen to a worse piece of garbage. So after giving up 2 touchdowns on Sunday and a pass interference penalty on the final drive, I ain't got much to say. I seen something, one of, what was that? I think it was on Twitter or whatever. Somebody, coming up all kinds of great stuff. They put a piece of toast, a burnt piece of toast with the number 20 on it, and put it like it was having a press conference or something. It had a microphone by it and everything. Oh, man. So as I said, a couple weeks back, he was taking shots at this, like the Saints quarterback situation. He was just like ripping like almost anybody. He was making fun of Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill. And then, I don't know what it was, but what I was reading, is that he even took a shot at Jalen Hurts. Man, what the? Unbelievable. Absolute. What a loser. Absolute loser he is. Then he took a shot at the city of New Orleans. And, he said, and their cuisine. Basically, he said, New Orleans is the dirtiest, smelliest city and has the worst food ever. It's that swine and crawfish that's killing y'all brains. What a loser. Absolute freaking loser. And he's like, I don't know which fan base I hate more. Probably, I'm sure that's by the way he spells too, probably the Saints, but it's close with the Giants. It's a toss-up. So he doesn't like, but he's starting to run out of teams, because he was on Carolina and they got rid of him. Now he's making fun of New Orleans. I'm sure they'll never sign him again. He's making fun with the Giants. I'm sure they'll probably never sign him. I think he's just signed a 1-year deal with the Bengals, so we'll have to wait and see if the Bengals wind up signing him. But, you start making fun of, people and teams and cities and all that and everything. What an absolute freaking loser. And one of the Giants fans said that he was a waste of a draft pick. Then, of course, he fired back and said, when's that Giant playoff game start? Question mark. He was making fun of the Giants, their situation. What he doesn't realize, nice to be humble. It's the Bengals are, maybe kind of there, maybe in spite of you. They're not there basically maybe because of you. He had a nice season, but dude, just be happy. You're on a team. This, since he's been in the league since 2016. He's on his 4th team. The New Orleans Saints traded for him, and they gave up on him after like a little over a year. And he went to Carolina, and they gave up on him. What a loser. Absolute freaking loser. after the game was over, he was on New Orleans, and he made fun of some of the players on New Orleans. He made fun of the city of New Orleans and all. Some of his teammates, Michael Thomas and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, were taking shots at him on Twitter after the game. Also, I seen here McCall Hardman Jr. from the Chiefs. Apparently after the championship game, he just started making remarks about some of the Chiefs. Like if the Bengals beat that team, he'll just start making comments about them. I mean, what a loser. But on Twitter here, Hardman, he's got a picture of his Super Bowl ring that he won with the Chiefs. The thing is huge, absolutely huge, beautiful too. My God! But he's as a little video, he's like showing the ring off and all, and he's tweeting out to Eli. He's like, Eli Apple, it's cool, big bro. You might get one of these one day, holding his ring up. But in the meantime, just go get better at your craft. There's a bunch of guys apparently were making fun of it. It says here on this article, Eli Apple apparently ruffled some feathers with a pair of Chiefs receivers following the AFC Championship game in which Cincinnati advanced past Kansas City. So I mean, it's like I don't know. It's like if he winds up, they beat you. He's all this. I mean, what an absolute loser. Now, Eli was in on, I think he had 4 solo tackles and 1 assisted tackles. He was on 5 tackles. B.J. Hill was in on 3. Remember our draft pick, B.J. Hill, who we traded this past season when we got Billy Price because we needed a center. But if the Bengals would have won, I don't really care who won. I just like to see a close game, and that's what we got. So I was happy. But I mean, if the Bengals wound up winning, I would have been very happy for B.J. Hill. Would have been very, very happy for him. I'm happy for him, period, because he got to play in the Super Bowl. But not Eli Apple. Now, going over those 2 touchdowns that Eli Apple gave up. Now, kind of to be fair, Eli, he had the one touchdown at the end of the game that that won the game for the Rams. The coverage was very good. I mean, there's like nothing you can do about that. I mean, they practiced that over and over and over. I mean, if Eli Apple was looking at Stafford and he knew the ball was coming, hey, he could have knocked it away. He could have maybe picked it off. But I mean, you just practice that over and over and over, and when it's thrown in the right spot, and Kupp is like maybe going, and like at the last second he jumps up and catches the ball. I mean, it's tough to defend. I mean, he was right there. He couldn't have really defended it much better. So I mean, but I mean, because he's doing all this and everything like that. All that talk comes back to bite him in the rear end. I'm saying, but a play like that, you got to tip your cap. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Stafford, they did a phenomenal job on that one play. But on the first TD pass, I mean, that was really pretty bad. Kupp was like right next to the line of scrimmage, and Stafford faked the handoff, and like Eli Apple was kind of like looking in the backfield, like maybe I guess he was thinking it was going to be a run or something. He was like kind of like froze. He was like looking in the backfield, and Cooper Kupp was like lined up kind of about like where the tight end would have been. The snap, Kupp runs right past him. He gets like 2-3 steps past or whatever, and then Eli Apple's like, oh shit! And he turns around and runs. By the time he has a chance, to make a play, or whatever. I mean, Kupp's like maybe 2-3 yards behind him. Stafford throws a beautiful pass, and it's a touchdown. I mean, he got burnt really bad on that one, But I gotta admit that on that last drive, I mean, that the one holding call they called on Wilson, what a ticky-tack, absolute garbage call that was. I mean, they called I think they said 4 penalties all game up to that point in time, and you're gonna call a penalty on that could have possibly decided the outcome of the game or the Super Bowl on that. Call that holding, really? And then not only that, on that same play, both tackles for the Rams were offside. They both popped up and started moving back, and the center still had the ball. I mean, it was a false start. I mean, it should have been 3rd down and goal from the 13-yard line. But instead, they call the penalty on the Bengals, and it should have been a penalty on the Rams because it should have been a false start. The play should not have been allowed to go on. It should have been 3rd down and 13 at the 3rd down goal. I'm sorry, from the 13-yard line. So the refs did a horrible job there. Also on that one penalty, the one touchdown pass, the first one, the Bengals scored. The receiver pulled Jalen Ramsey's face mask, and they didn't call that one. I mean, absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Really, really bad. Now, it'd be interesting to see if Eli Apple has anything to say, after this game over. I can't see him having anything to say. And then he signed this. I think he signed a 1-year deal. So I'll be interested to see if the Bengals wind up picking up his, or maybe trying to re-sign him or anything like that after he, after what he did in this Super Bowl here. Now, on to some better news. Good old OBJ. Good for him. He got a touchdown and a ring, and unfortunately a torn ACL. Now, he had 2 receptions for 52 yards. He had the 1 touchdown. Very good catch. Unfortunately, it was once again one of those non-contact injuries. I mean, the ball, he didn't wind up catching it, but planted his one leg, boom, there's the ACL gone. I mean, it was like with Blake Martinez with the Giants week 3 against the Falcons. Cordarrelle Patterson caught a ball out of the backfield, put a move on Blake, and he got around, and Blake tried to go with the fake or whatever, boom, blew his knee out, and he's laying on the field. Non-contact injury. Absolutely unbelievable. So I think it's the same ACL he tore last year when he was with the Browns. It'll be 2 years in a row. He tore the same ACL, same leg. Really, really horrible. Such a shame. I mean, such a talented wide receiver. Guy can't catch a break as far as with all these injuries and everything. Now there's a petition going around. All right, called Flip the Turf. Many of the players from the past and the players from the present are in support of this petition. It's on. I think I've seen it on Twitter. You can go in. There's I guess you can sign for it as well. You can sign it. So I mean, they're trying to get it where they can maybe get all the stadiums, instead of no turf, have actual grass. Now, turf fields have 28% more non-contact lower body injuries. 28% more. I mean, 32% more non-contact knee injuries. Non-contact. I mean, how many times you've seen a guy just run and plant in the leg? Boom! There it goes. There's 69% more non-contact foot and ankle injuries. 69% more on turf than there is on grass. And actually, also, turf can get up to 60 degrees hotter than grass. 60 degrees hotter. What a joke. I'm all for it. I mean, I love grass. I mean, why are we playing that on turf? I mean, absolutely a joke. The teams are worth billions of dollars. They can afford it. I mean, come on. Plus, also, I mean, the NFL is as popular as it is. Why? Because of the players. And every time the players go out there, they're just like one step away, as we saw with Odell Beckham Jr. One step, you plant your foot the wrong way, your season's over. Why aren't we trying to? I mean, we're doing all we can to protect the guys with like concussions, and you can't hit a quarterback below the knee or at the knee or below. Or I mean, we're doing all this stuff that don't lower your head, initiate contact and this that. Why are we doing all this and we can't get grass on the field. I mean, are you serious? I mean, you're playing with these guys' livelihoods. I mean, these injuries. I mean, yeah, with Odell. I mean, it's the second time with the same leg. I mean, if he comes back, how's he going to be when he comes back? I mean, you're playing with these guys. These guys' livelihoods, and these are the guys that make the NFL what it is. I mean, I really hope this petition goes around, and a lot of people wind up signing it, and I hope they start doing that, because it's absolutely ridiculous. There's no need for this. Absolutely no need for this at all. Put in frickin' grass. I mean, like the Major League Baseball. I don't know if there's any teams that have artificial turf now. I mean, I think it's all grass. I mean, I remember back, like, whatever, the 80s. I mean, there was a lot of teams, like the Cardinals and the Royals, a lot of, the Phillies. A lot of teams used to have artificial turf. And now it's all grass. I think it's all grass. I don't think there's any artificial turf anywhere. I think it's all grass. And if Major League Baseball teams can do it, why can't professional football teams do it? You look at it, of course you got to fertilize and cut and water and take care of it. You might have to resod and all that. I get that. And there's a financial cost to that. I get that. But there's also a cost, too, when a player gets injured for basically no apparent reason whatsoever, other than he was running and trying to stop and make a cut on turf. That's absolutely ridiculous. I hope this petition goes through, and I hope they wind up, changing all the stadiums over to grass. I'd absolutely love it. And finally, just now, also with Odell Beckham Jr., all right, he's going to get himself a ring. He was with the Giants from 2014 to 2018. Dante Dion, all right, he was a cornerback. He was with the Giants from 2016 to 2018. He's with the Rams. He's going to get himself a ring. And then Grant Haley, he was with the Giants from 2018 to 2019. I think he was from Penn State. He was with the Giants for 2 years. He's going to get himself a ring. Then there was two guys that they signed, I was reading, just ahead of the Super Bowl, and put him on the practice squad. Ryan Santoso, remember him, the kicker? We traded him to Carolina in the beginning, before the season started. We traded him to Carolina. And we were going to get a 7th round draft pick from Carolina if he remained on the roster, Carolina's roster, for the first 2 or 3 weeks. He didn't want to make it, and they wound up getting rid of him after like the first week. I think he missed an extra point, and they wound up getting rid of him, so we wound up losing their 7th round draft pick anyway. But Ryan Santoso, the kicker, right, who was on our team, he was on the Rams practice squad, and Carson Tinker, he's a long snapper. He was on the Giants from 2020 to 2021. He was on their practice squad as well too. So no, they didn't play in the game or suit up or anything like that, but they're on the practice squad. So apparently what I was reading is that the Rams are only allowed 150 rings. That's a lot of rings. But apparently they can, if they could maybe order more or get more if they're going to take money out of pocket. So maybe, possibly, Santoso and Tinker might get a ring. No guarantee, but there's a possibility that they might get a ring. But anyway, Dion, Haley, and OBJ are definitely going to get a ring. But just goes to show you. On the Bengals, you had Hill and you had Apple. I'm not sure if there was anybody else from the Giants or not, but just 5 guys from the Giants from the past, right? You had Santoso, Tinker, Haley, Dion, and OBJ. 5 guys who used to be on the Giants who ain't here no more. And look, they're on a team. Went 2, and they won a Super Bowl. Well, good for them. Well, maybe this would be a little lesson. Maybe, we'll start, maybe Shane will start turning things around. We'll start drafting guys, the guys that we draft will actually wind up keeping, and we can try to build a team that way. Wouldn't that be just wonderful? Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there, and go Giants!